A young mother drops her children at daycare one ordinary Friday morning. By nightfall, she's vanished without a trace. Her purse, her phone, her car, all left behind. But Madeline Kingsbury herself? Gone. What happened in those missing hours would tear a community apart and reveal a darkness hiding behind closed doors before we dive into this case. If you're passionate about true crime and uncovering the truth behind these mysterious disappearances, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support helps us bring these important stories to light. And don't forget to like and comment below. Let us know what you think happened in this case. Winona, Minnesota. A picturesque city nestled along the banks of the Mississippi River. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone, where families put down roots and children grow up safe. It's so idyllic that actress Winona Ryder was named after this very town. For 26-year-old Madeline Kingsbury, Winona was home. A dedicated mother of 2 young children, Maddie, as everyone called her, was working full-time at the prestigious Mayo Clinic as a clinical research coordinator while pursuing her master's degree at the University of Minnesota. She'd just completed her first semester with flying colors. Those who knew Maddie described her as kind, quirky, and caring. Her older sister Megan considered her not just a sibling, but her best friend. Maddie's life revolved around her children, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and everyone who knew her understood one fundamental truth. Family was everything to her. But on the morning of Friday, March 31st, 2023, something went terribly wrong. That Friday began like any other. Maddie and Adam Fravel, the father of her children, took their kids to daycare together. They arrived around 8 o'clock in the morning. Surveillance footage from the daycare shows the couple dropping off their children. It would be one of the last times anyone would see Maddie alive. After the drop-off, according to Adam's later statements to police, the couple returned to their Winona home. Adam said he watched Maddie walk downstairs to her home office in the basement, where she planned to do a little work before heading to the Mayo Clinic. At 8:15 that morning, Maddie exchanged text messages with her sister Megan. They were laughing back and forth about a funny picture. It was a normal, light-hearted conversation between sisters. It was the last time Megan would hear from her. As the day wore on, Maddie's silence became deafening. Her family tried reaching her throughout the afternoon of March 31st without success. Text messages went unanswered. Phone calls went to voicemail. Maddie's mother, Krista Newber, felt something she couldn't quite explain, a mother's intuition that something was deeply wrong. By evening, the worry had escalated. Megan reached out to Adam, who was hours away at his parents' home in Mabel, Minnesota, with the children. His response was unsettling. "I'm concerned too because I haven't heard from her either. I got home today, and she was gone." Megan then contacted Katie Coca, one of Maddie's closest friends who lived in Winona. Katie rushed over. The house, she would later recall, was eerily silent. Nobody was home. That's when Katie called the Winona Police Department, desperate to file a missing persons report. But the response was frustrating. They couldn't file a report because it hadn't been 24 hours yet. The next morning, with Maddie now missing nearly 24 hours, the Kingsbury family officially filed a missing persons report. Adam Fravel also took to Facebook, asking for help. His post read in part, "If anybody has seen Maddie, please contact the Winona Police Department, me, or any of her family members. Please help me find the mom to our 2 beautiful children." The news spread quickly through Winona and beyond. Law enforcement launched an extensive search effort that included people on foot, in vehicles, and searches by water and air. Haley Scott, one of Maddie's sorority sisters from Winona State University, immediately sprang into action, reaching out to their sorority and news outlets. Detectives wasted no time in reaching out to Adam Fravel. According to police reports, Adam provided a detailed account of his movements that morning. He told them that after returning home from the daycare drop-off, Maddie went to her basement office while he prepared to drive to his parents' house in Mabel to drop off some boxes. Adam said he borrowed Maddie's blue minivan for the trip, leaving his own car at the house. He loaded some boxes into the van and headed south on Highway 43. But then, Adam told police, he realized he'd made a mistake. The boxes in the van were ones he actually wanted to put in storage, not take to his parents' house. So he turned around near the township of Choice, Minnesota, and drove back to Winona. Adam said he arrived back at the house around 11:30 in the morning and saw his car still in the driveway. He'd texted Maddie a few times asking about dinner and whether she was going to pick up the kids. There was no response. Assuming Maddie had carpooled to work with a colleague, Adam said he went alone to pick up the children from daycare around 4:20 or 4:30 that afternoon. Again, surveillance footage from the daycare appeared to corroborate this part of Adam's timeline. During this initial police interview, investigators noted something concerning. Adam had fresh scratches on his face. When asked about them, Adam said they came from a friend's dog. On Saturday, April 1st, police conducted a thorough search of the Winona house where Adam and Maddie lived. Investigators reported finding no overt signs of foul play. But what they did find was perhaps more telling. Maddie's purse was there. Her jacket, her credit cards, everything except Maddie herself. 2 days later, a desperate and terrified Megan made a plea on TikTok that would go viral. The post eventually garnered over 500,000 views. People from across the country wanted to help. The response from the community was extraordinary. Nearly 1,000 people signed up to look for Megan's sister. As the search continued, investigators began learning disturbing details about Maddie's relationship with Adam Fravel. The two had met years earlier at Winona State University. While still in college, Maddie and Adam learned they were expecting their first child. They decided to settle in Winona together. But according to Maddie's family and friends, the relationship had become deeply troubled. Megan was blunt in her assessment. He just wasn't nice to her. He didn't act like he loved her. He didn't help take care of the kids. He didn't clean. The problems went far deeper than an unequal division of household labor. About 3 years before Maddie went missing, Haley Scott witnessed something that chilled her to the bone. She and Maddie were on a video call when Adam appeared in the background. According to Haley, Adam began shouting at Maddie about the messy house and then slapped her with an open hand across the face. But it was what happened in September 2021, about 18 months before Maddie disappeared, that revealed just how dangerous the situation had become. The nation had been captivated by the tragic case of Gabby Petito, a 22-year-old woman whose remains were found a month after she vanished during a cross-country trip with her fiancé. According to Haley, Adam had become obsessed with the Gabby Petito case. Maddie told Haley that one night, after she and Adam watched a news special about Petito's murder, Adam grabbed her by the throat, pinned her down, and told her that if she wasn't careful, she would end up just like Gabby Petito. Katie Coca said Maddie called her shortly after this terrifying incident. Katie begged Maddie to go to the hospital and document what had happened, but Maddie never reported the incident to police. She was more scared that Adam was going to get arrested. She wanted to protect him. Maddie did, however, tell her father David and stepmother Kathy about the choking incident. Kathy and David immediately drove to Maddie's house and took her and the children back to their home in Farmington. But Maddie stayed at her parents' house for only 3 days before returning to Adam because he was upset that she'd left. The fear for Maddie's safety had become so acute that Kathy felt compelled to say something unthinkable to her own daughter. At some point, he's going to kill you. Kathy's answer revealed the tragic pattern. She became a pro at minimizing things. And it came back to, well, he was joking. He told me he was joking. And she wanted to believe that. When Maddie went missing, her friends and family immediately reported these incidents to police. According to a search warrant, detectives interviewed Adam and asked directly if he and Maddie had ever had any physical altercations. His answer, oh no. But investigators found something damning, an old screenshot Maddie had saved of text messages. In the texts, Maddie writes about Adam putting his hand around her neck and pushing her down in front of the kids. Adam's chilling reply, you'll adjust. Maddie responds, the EFF I will. As detectives dug deeper, they began collecting surveillance videos from along Highway 43. According to a search warrant, a blue minivan matching Maddie's vehicle was captured on cameras along that route. But the timestamps didn't match Adam's timeline. The cameras tracked the blue minivan until around noon. And then there was a mysterious 45-minute gap around Choice, Minnesota, the very place where Adam said he turned around. As detectives continued their investigation, they uncovered a new lead. Maddie had been in a romantic relationship with an Army veteran named Spencer Sullivan. Maddie had reconnected with Spencer through Tinder. By that point, she told Spencer that her relationship with Adam had reached the point of no return. They began dating, but kept it quiet. When Maddie went missing, friends and family told police about Spencer. Investigators called him in, and Spencer surrendered his phone while they checked his alibi. They also learned something significant. Only 6 days before Maddie disappeared, she had finally told Adam about Spencer. According to Megan, Maddie told Adam she was leaving him and looking for an apartment. Maddie's best friend Katie said tensions were sky-high after this revelation. The day before she disappeared, Maddie called Katie crying, saying Adam was hovering over her while she worked and making comments about some other man raising his kids. She felt very threatened. Maddie went to Spencer's home on March 30th, his birthday. She brought donuts and a Star Wars Lego set. It would be the last time Spencer saw Maddie in person. Within days, police confirmed Spencer's alibi and cleared him completely. Lauren Dillio, another close friend, recalled a conversation she'd had with Maddie about a month before she disappeared. Maddie told her that if anything were to happen to her or her children, Adam did it. She would never leave her children for anything. 10 days after Maddie disappeared, police received a tip that Adam had been seen with a shovel in his family's utility vehicle. Police seized the vehicle, and cadaver dogs alerted to something in the vehicle and on the shovel. Maddie had been missing for 35 days when people gathered at a local church to remember her. David Kingsbury addressed the crowd. "We know that Maddie is around here somewhere. She just didn't vanish. Someone knows something." On June 7th, 2023, 68 days after Maddie disappeared, a sheriff's deputy found human remains along a lonely country road. The next day, police confirmed the remains were those of Madeline Kingsbury. According to the criminal complaint, Maddie was wrapped in a gray fitted bedsheet with black duct tape around the ends. A towel was wrapped around her head. The bedsheet seemed to match a set found in Maddie's home. The isolated road where her remains were found had been maintained by the Fravel family and was close to Choice, where there were 45 minutes unaccounted for in Adam's timeline. Adam Fravel was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Maddie's autopsy listed her cause of death as homicidal violence. In October 2023, Adam was indicted on additional first-degree murder charges. According to investigators, Adam was in financial distress due to his dependence on Maddie's income and was upset about the end of their relationship. Maddie had a death benefit of $170,000. When police entered the couple's house, they noticed surveillance cameras had been ripped out, indicators of consciousness of guilt. Adam's family insists he's innocent, saying the cameras had been removed because the couple was moving, and that the cadaver dogs alerted because their father had used the shovel to move a dead raccoon. Adam's defense team has filed motions to suppress his police interview, claiming he wasn't read his Miranda rights. The Kingsbury family is speaking out now in hopes of saving someone else. "That's the reason why we're here," David explained. "Because we don't want it to happen to anybody else." For Maddie's family, the guilt is overwhelming. David knows that whatever a jury decides, there's a larger truth. "I'll always be the father of a murdered girl." Spencer feels haunted too. Maddie had told him she was in love with him, but he was too afraid to say it back. "Does that bother you?" he was asked. "Every day." For Megan, the future without Maddie is unimaginable. "How do you want Maddie to be remembered?" she was asked. "As somebody that mattered." She was everybody's best friend. The case against Adam Fravel continues through the legal system. But at the heart of this case is a young mother who had her whole life ahead of her, 2 children who will grow up without their mother, and a stark reminder that domestic violence often escalates most dangerously when a victim tries to leave.